Today, we're going to talk about coin shop trade wars. We went through two of them today, folks. I'm going to explain what happened. It's a little bit fun in this business sometimes, making deals with other coin shops. This is part of the business. So please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on stories like this. I am trying very hard to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We are currently about 141 subscribers away from that. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but I sure need some help. So if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe. Please share it out, folks. If you're already subscribed, give me that thumbs up, because that thumbs up really helps YouTube push this video out more and more. Let's get into the video right now. You guys know we're out of 90% silver for the most part at the shop that I work for. So every now and then when we gain low on something and we out, we will put it, we will email our coin shops around the country and try to make a deal with them on something. So we got a phone call, or I should say I got a phone call from a shop out west. And he needs to sell some 90% silver, and he needs to get some gold in the shop. He's got $6,000 face. He's got $3,000 of the dimes face. He's got $3,000 face in quarters. His first offer to me was he wanted 23.5 times face. I said, no, that's not going to work. I said there's no meat left on the bone at all. I says, look, I said, you need gold, I need your silver, we need to come together on a better price. So I said, so my first offer was a lowball offer, folks. I'll truly admit it. I offered him 21 times face. This is to see where he was going to react to. Well, he didn't appreciate that counter offer too much. So now it's time to do the dance, okay? So we're dancing around. And he's going to 23. I said, no, I'm not going to 23. I says, I'm going to pay you what we're paying out at the store right now, which is 22 times face. I says, you got $6,000 face. I said, you're going to need 3 boxes from the UPS to ship them. I said, about 60 pounds each, 60 and a half pounds each, roughly, in 1,000 face. So he's going to need 6 different boxes to ship. I said, you don't need to put insurance on them. I says, your route to us is pretty good, so I ain't worried about insuring them at all. I says, I'll take the risk of not insuring it. I says, I'll cut you a check right now. I said, I'll wire you the money right now. I says, look, 6,000 times 22 face, that's quite a bit of a wire transfer. I said, and you're going to pay this shipping, every bit of it. Well, I can't do that. You're going to make me lose money, blah, blah. I said, yeah, but you need the gold. He says, but you need the silver. I says, I would rather live out with the 90% silver. I said, it will come to me. I said, it normally does. I said, but we sell a lot of 90% silver. You sell more gold than we do. I said, so you're kind of in the same pickle as me. Do you want this deal or not? He says, let me talk to my wife. No problem. No rush, I said. About the same time, another shop owner came in the shop. He's kind of in the same prediction. He needs gold for a shop. We need 90% silver for a shop. We came to a deal of he needed 3 ounces of gold quickly. Well, we could have used any 90% silver, but he had silver quarters, as you see on your screen here. He says, I want to make an even trade. He says, how much is it going to take for me to get 3 ounces of gold from you? He says, I really don't care if they're maples. I don't care if they're buffaloes. I don't care if they're American eagles. He says, how much gold, how much silver do you need for 3 ounces of gold? I says, well, I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you 1 gold maple. And I said, I'll give you 1 buffalo, and I'll give you 1 eagle. I says, the eagle's a little bit more, so keep this in mind. I said, I'm going to need about, I said, how about you give me 465 face in that? I said, and you're going to make out a little bit, I said, on the deal. So he's doing his calculations. He said, how about 460? I said, no. I'm not gonna go with the 460 face. I said 465 is a very fair offer. I said, you're still gonna make out of the deal, and you know it. I said, I'm trying to help you out. I said, remember, you don't help me out too much when I need help. When I need something. I said, the only reason why you're in my shop, well, it's not my shop, I just work there, is because you need the gold. The only reason why I'm working with you right now is because I need the junk silver. I said, so this is how it's going to be. I said, I can live without the junk silver. Seems like you need the gold more than I need the junk silver right now. Folks, it's about playing the game. It's about being a bit of a hardball sometimes. And of course, I was playing hardball. Well, guess what? I got the deal done on that one. So now we got silver quarters back in stock. Even trade, boom. Owner's happy. I'm happy. They're happy. Everybody's happy. Customers are happy because we got the 90% silver back. They don't know we got it back yet, but we have to go through the quarters right now. And I don't think there's going to be anything valuable in the quarters. They're all Washington silver quarters. They go through their quarters pretty well, too. So about a half an hour later, this guy calls me, the coin shop out west calls me out west. He says, I got one thing to ask you, Chris. He says, any way you could give me a little something for shipping? I am shipping you 6 boxes. I said, oh. I said, yeah, you're right. I said, I can eat a little bit of this shipping cost. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I said, I'm not paying much for shipping because you're still getting the gold that you need pretty fast. I'm giving you the money now. I'm giving you the money up front before I even get them in the store. And I said, I'll pay you $30 for shipping for everything. I said, I know it's going to cost you more than that. I know it's not half, but that's what I'm going to do. I said, I ain't going anymore. He says, okay, send me the money. I'll get them out this afternoon to you. Great. 6 boxes of junk silver. I'm going to have $3,000 more a face of 90% silver and dimes and 3,000 face of 90% silver quarters, folks. I'm telling you, folks, it's not going to last at our shop for long. We go through a lot of 90% silver at our shop. Talking about 90% silver and other silver products out there. Check out channel sponsor Pinbacks.com. They have 90% silver in stock right now across the board. Get it while it's available, folks. They're not making 64 and prior silver anymore. This is how you make a deal online. Getting it cheaper. Pinbacks has 5 rolls of dimes for $3 less a roll if you buy 5 rolls or more. That's a heck of a deal. If you need them, folks, you want them, you got the cash to do it, pick them up before prices go up. Let me know that coin shop Chris sent you. Thank you, channel sponsor Pinbacks, for sponsoring the channel. Thank you to the viewer out there, because it's not possible without you. Let me just talk about making deals, folks. You know, you guys know I do a lot of eBay. I love to haggle. I guess it's in my blood. You know, it's okay to make an offer, folks. You know, you'd be surprised of what people do take. You'd be surprised that some people will make a counter offer. A lot of my offers, people don't even counter my offers. They just either accept them or they turn them right down. And my offers, you know, are not really lowball offers. You know, if someone has a good price, I might offer a couple dollars less to see if I can save myself a couple bucks. You know, they still don't bite at it. They just turn it down. It is what it is. I move on to the next one. I'm always looking for the next deal. I guess I learned that when I was very young at doing the flea market up in Maine. It's about how to wheel and deal. Don't be afraid if you're at a flea market, if you're at a coin show, if you're at your local coin shop. And don't do it loudly at a coin shop, of course. But if you're a regular customer at a coin shop, say, you know, I'll buy $5 in face, for an example, 90% silver of what you're asking. You're asking this 10-ounce bar Can you do a dollar cheaper per an ounce? I'll give you what you want on your 90. I'll do it the vice versa. I'll give you what you want on your bar. Can you do a little bit better on your junk silver price for me? Whatever the case may be, folks. You know, try to work deals in together sometimes. Add it up and say, can you go like $5 cheaper, $7 cheaper? And it won't be done every single time, of course. But if you can do that every now and then, that $7 that you saved, $8 you save, could buy you a cheeseburger meal. Really? Think about it that way. You're out and about. Think about saving everything you can save. Let's get the process in your mind going now for a barterable situation, folks. You got the time to do it now. Learn the tricks of the trade, how to barter. I've told you guys my tricks. When I'm on eBay, you know, they make a counter offer. Sometimes the counter offer is not bad, but sometimes I'll stick right to what I originally offered and say, hey, look, this is all I have. I pay fast. The way my eBay account is set up, folks, they accept it. The credit card, it's already on the credit card, sending the money to them already. That's how. You don't have to have it set up that way. You can have your account set up any way you want to. But for me, that's one advantage that I have. That I said, there's no waiting for you to get paid. Another way to do it is, let's say you make a counter offer. They come back. You raise it up a little bit. They come back with a little lower counter offer than what they were. Then you try to meet in the middle there. Say, okay, now let's meet them in the middle and we're both happy. Sometimes that trick works, folks. It depends on the item. It depends on the counter offer back. It depends on a lot of things, how I react to people on eBay. It really depends. You know, and I'm not being rude to anybody. We're not swearing at anybody online. I'm just trying to get the best deal possible for myself. And I think everybody's out there trying to do the same thing. So I try to use that tactic the same way with other coin shops. Trying to help the shop out to make a little bit more cash flow. To stay in business. Now, when it comes to the customers, it works a little bit differently. Most of the time, our office with the customers is our best price. We try not to haggle. Say, this is my best price. I'm not paying a penny more. That's what it is. Can't do any more. There's no more. We need a little bit of meat on the bone so we can make a little bit of money as well. And of course, we don't know where silver and gold prices are going to go. So we're taking a chance there too. When they're selling to us or this whatever. Most people are happy with the prices. Our prices are very competitive in the area, if not the better prices all the time that we pay up for. Some of our prices are a little bit higher when we sell. But we have, on the back end of it, our prices are better buyback prices. So with that being said, it's about trying to help the customer out with the best price possible. There's some wiggle room on some items, of course. Sometimes we don't offer the best price right up front, and they come and say, "Can you do any better?" You know, then you mess with the calculator a little bit more, and you try to work a little bit better price. Sometimes that can be done. But at the end of the day, the shop does have to make money. And, you know, when you're working with other coin shops, like I did today, you know, do we call them customers? No, it's about trading, working out a deal, and sometimes there's a little bit of negotiating back and forth. Sometimes, I'll admit it, there's some few choice words back and forth with each other as well. But at the end of the day, both parties are happy. You know, both parties are happy because you're trying to, their business is trying to help their coin shop the most. I'm trying to help the owner that I work for, trying to get the most bang out of his buck as well too. And he's kind of let me go on my own here and kind of going full-blown ordering for the shop, getting the shop, and it's right now, it's not easy. With the times we're in right now, with all the talks about inflation, tariffs, trade wars, you name it, we're living in some uncertain times. Now, I'm not putting the blame on anybody, okay? Let me just put that there. We have to adjust with the times, with the markets, and especially with gold right now, it goes off the charts right now. There's no charting territory really for gold at this prices. We all know that. So we have to be very careful of how much gold we do buy at one time. That will come with silver too. Silver has done all right, folks. Let's keep stacking this 90% silver. Keep stacking. Don't give up. Don't give this stuff up. Learn how to butter now. Even if you're trying to make a little bit cheaper price for yourself. At your coin shops, coin shows, flea markets. Really, anything that you're buying out there. I'll leave you guys with this one last tip. This was several years ago. And give you an update on the washing machine. I'm still waiting for another pot to come in because it's probably the cold water condenser versus hot water one. So I'm going to give you guys an update on that tomorrow morning when I try to fix that. So leading into the washing machine and dryer machine, I've told this story before, but I think it's very, very important. We were at Lowe's, my grandma and I. Her dryer at the time went on the fritz. She didn't want a mismatch washing machine, dryer machine. I could live with it, but she couldn't, so we had to get a set. And of course, she's looking at this one set. It was a white set. And then she saw the blue one right next to it. But the blue one, they wanted $50 more for the washer and dryer each one. So it was another $100 more. And then she saw the pull-out drawers, the front loader washers that sit up on these drawers, another $299 each, or whatever the price was, $287, whatever the price was at the time. They were about $300 more. Looking at the prices on the drawers are the same price. So I said, at the time, Lowe's was offering free delivery, but they wanted $40, I believe at the time, maybe it was $25 at the time, do a hallway on the washing machine, on the dryer. The washer was fine. On the dryer. I said, so I went to the sales person. I said, let me ask you this question. I said, how bad do you want to make a sale? I said, I'm willing to buy those blue ones with the drawers, with your 5-year warranty. 5-year warranty was like $187 for each one. I said, I'm willing to buy the drawers, the 2 blue ones, the 2 5-year warranties, but I want it for the price of the white set, and I don't want you to be charging me for the hallway. He's looking what he can do. He says, that's a done deal. Sometimes even at your retail stores, folks, you can make a deal. That is the point. You give a little on something else, because we wouldn't get the warranty no matter what, because that's her thing, warranty. And I'm glad we did get it, because it did help us save some money when they were ineffective. We just didn't extend them. And I'm not sorry that we didn't extend them, because I think I know what's wrong with the washing machine anyways. But sometimes, even your retail companies out there will make a deal with you. Compare your prices with other stores, folks. Know your prices if you're looking for a big ticket item as well. Just don't go shopping at one store, because one store to the next might save you some money, even though that store that you like to shop at better, let's say, might be able to price match as well. And you get to store the business you want to give your business to. Just think outside the box, folks. Because sometimes it just takes the right salesperson to get the deal done. You know, that is my 2 cents on that. I hope you folks have a good night. We will see you tomorrow. Yes, I will be here tomorrow too, even though it's Easter, to give you guys an update of silver, gold, and platinum as well. In the meantime, I hope this video was useful for you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Give me that thumbs up, folks. Thumbs up. No thumbs down. Thumbs up. Get this video shared out. Check out my good friend Sobriety in Silver YouTube channel. That is Sobriety in Silver. This is the last day you can sign up for his giveaway video. Check that one out. He's giving away 2 ounces of silver and 1 ounce of copper as well. Let him know that Coin Shop Chris sent you. Make sure you go to his video. Make sure you're subscribed to his channel. Go to the video. He's got a couple rules there. Follow those rules. You qualify. You might win 2 ounces of silver and 1 ounce of copper tomorrow. Thank you, Sobriety in Silver YouTube channel. Thank you, my friend, for doing that. You're a good man. We will see you all tomorrow.